Yeah, welcome to More Than Black and White podcast, where health, hustle, and higher thinking meet. I'm your host, Brian. My man, Paul. How are you, buddy? Good?
What's up?
Each week we like to explore real conversations on mindset, motivation, holistic health, entrepreneurship, and just the overall human experience. This is not just another podcast. It's a movement to challenge you to step outside your comfort zone and to help you live your purpose.
This topic is something I'm so happy you brought this up, bro, because like looking into this in the biohacking, like first of all, like what is biohacking? The definition is taking control of your biology using science, tools, lifestyle changes that will optimize your mind and your body. And I'm also going to add in there your spirit. But we want to move on into another form of biohacking, which is red light therapy. Mm-hmm. So before Brian drops the gems on this, let's do how we do. Let's look at the definition. This is known as photobiomodulation. And this is when there's a continuous beam or red light that is near or around you that's at a specific wavelength. And what it does is it stimulates cells and promote healing. You'll traditionally see a lot of these things. Like we're in New Jersey until Brian's over in Spain and Portugal. Mm-hmm. But right now we're in Jersey, and a lot of the places I've been in Jersey, like the spa houses, a lot of them have these red light therapy rooms right now. Yeah. Super freaking relaxing, B. B, what's the scoop with red light therapy, man? How the heck does that work, bro?
Man, this is big, man. Because we talked about this with the cancer episode. With mitochondria. Like if you can boost your mitochondrial efficiency, man, it's very hard for diseases, cancers, and all this other stuff to exist in your body. So what this actually does, it actually with certain wavelengths, it actually targets and penetrates the mitochondria, which mitochondria is like the generator of all cells. It's the cell's energy factory. So red light actually penetrates the mitochondria membrane, that wall. And what this does, it displaces mitochondrial nitric oxide. When we come back to nitric oxide all the time, it is such to me, I think it's like the top 2 or 3 overlooked, misdiagnosed things in the medical profession. If you understand nitric oxide and you take the right, I would say precautions, but the right targets to get to there and improve your nitric oxide, man, it is a game changer. It is a game changer. What this does, it actually produces more nitric oxide. And what that does, it allows more oxygen into your mitochondria. So again, we talked about this in the past episode with cancer. And if you haven't seen that, you got to watch it. It's good, or at least watch something else on it. So oxygen, we kind of get a little nerdy on you. So oxygen, what it does, it enables the Krebs cycle. So when you don't have enough oxygen in your body.
Wait. Talk to me about Krebs cycle real quick.
Krebs cycle, like it's also called your citric acid cycle. That's what your mitochondria does to make energy. It makes ATP. Okay. So when you don't have enough oxygen in your body because your mitochondria is not functioning well, you've got enough nitric oxide in your body, only produces 2 ATP out of every molecule, which is nothing. When it has oxygen, it produces 36 ATP, which is 16 times more efficient energy production. So now I'm going to kind of group it all together. We're going to come back full circle. So basically, red light therapy increases oxygen in your mitochondria to have a 16 times more efficient energy production compared to not using it. All right. So this is huge, especially if you have things like, I'm not going to diagnose anybody or give treatment advice, but if I had cancer or I had any kind of disease, or I had brain fog or ADD or anything like that, any kind of issue going on in my body, first thing I want to do is do mitochondria, have some mitochondria kind of rehab going on in there. And I would 110% use red light therapy to do this. Dude. And it's fascinating. So you can actually take, if you don't believe it's kind of like airy fairy, what you can do is you can do salivary nitric oxide strips, and you can place them in your mouth and measure the nitric oxide before you get into red light therapy, then measure about a half hour once you finish up with therapy. you'll see a huge difference in how much nitric oxide is put in your body before compared to after. So that's just something if you're like, I want objective research or quantifiable research, do the salivary strips before and then do it right after. You can see a huge difference in your nitric oxide just by those strips.
Wow. So this is, man. So what I'm hearing you say is with this red light therapy, it optimizes our mitochondria. So we're able to produce better energy in our body as well as produce more efficient and effective healing.
Yeah.
That's huge. That's huge. And
yeah.
As I'm thinking about this, there's this place in Jersey called the King Spot. Have you ever heard of it?
No.
Yeah. Oh man, dude, it's wild. And there's Soja too. Soja's another spot. But there's a place called King Spot. And I remember I went there, it had to be like probably 6 months ago now. And they had a room just of red light therapy.
Mm.
I remember lying in there and it was like, what the heck? I was like, this is weird. But then I remember I was like, I came out of there just like calm, relaxed. My body felt just not light, but it just felt aligned, man. And then I had some delicious ass mango. That's probably another type of biohack, but we'll get to another one.
Yeah, and what's interesting about this stuff, like like if you have bad eyesight, this is, man, it doesn't bother your eyes. You can actually stare at the red light, and what it does, it gets so deep, like it gets into those micro capillaries. And I've known people that have start wearing glasses and everything like that as they got older. They did the red light therapy, and they don't need glasses anymore. They don't need contacts anymore. So it just gets all the way down to the microcapillaries and helps blood flow better. Because basically that's what it is. As you get older, your microcapillaries don't work as efficient anymore. There's a lot less blood flow going into that. Yeah. And again, remember, if you have lack of blood flow one area of your body, you have lack of blood flow every area of your body. So it's really good, kind of jumping into the next thing. It's really good for neurological health. It reduces risk or slows down preventions of Alzheimer's and dementia, which is at an all-time high, and it's only getting worse. And because it improves blood flow, reduces inflammation, mitochondrial support. It breaks down. It increases the space between the microcapillaries, which is super important. It's really good for skin health, circulatory support. There's so much benefit out of it. Much benefit out of it.
Big time. Bro, I'm glad you mentioned the skin health. That's one thing that I was fascinated with when I saw it. I was like, skin health and wound healing, too, bro. And it makes sense though. When you're talking about the mitochondria becoming more efficient, of course it's going to help optimize the body in its healing as well, bro. That's big, man. Dude.
Yeah, everybody wants better skin health, and because what it does, it increases collagen, increases elastin, increases fibrin, which is all like vital for skin structure. It increases those three main components for like a younger, youthful looking skin. And it's awesome.
Listen, so and I'm glad you said this because at the end I'm gonna find out for you which one has been your favorite. All right. But that was tip top. As you know, again, any questions that you have,
and just a little side thing, if you can't afford like doing red light therapy, there's different things you can do that are natural and that's free. You can go outside during the first 45 minutes of sunlight because there's no UVA or UVB radiation. You can look right at the sun. It's not going to cause any issues, and it just stimulates vitamin D synthesis. So you can do that too. A lot of people want to wake up that early in the morning to see, but it's also a free alternative.
Bless up. And I'm glad you mentioned, thank you for bringing those up, man, because the alternatives, like, so you do have the cost-effective alternative. There are things like beds, there's masks. You've probably seen some people wear like the red mask and the red on their face and stuff. And even things like panels are available, wands. The other thing as far as safety, because I want to make sure that we touch the safety in each one of these, is red light therapy is generally safe. Right? It's like you can consult with a healthcare professional, but it's like, again, it's generally safe. It's working on a cellular level, so please be aware of that. And again, you got to do it at least 2 times, man. Just because the first time you're probably gonna F it up. But so let's move on to the next one that we have for the biohack, and that is